Happiness is a state of mind. Specifically, it is a state of well-being and contentment, but the definition can be tricky and assumptions about the word can confuse. Happiness looks different for everyone. For you, maybe it's being at peace with who you are, or having a secure network of friends who accept you unconditionally, or the freedom to pursue your deepest dreams. Many don't even realize learning how to be happy is something that can be intentionally practiced. Some people, when they hear the word happiness, assume it is speaking of an emotion such as pleasure or joy. For them, it is what people feel in the immediate here and now. You have to work to achieve happiness. The greater and more consistent the effort, the greater the eventual reward. Keep watching this video if you want to reach your goal of a life full of positive emotion. Let go of the entitlement mindset. A sense of entitlement, a feeling that you have a right to something, is the root cause of most people's unhappiness. Parents are unhappy when they don't get the love and respect from their kids that they think they're entitled to. Husbands are unhappy when they don't get all the sex they think they are entitled to from their wives, and wives feel just as unhappy when there's too little intimacy in the marriage. Employees are unhappy when they fail to get the raise they feel entitled to, and employers are unhappy if their workers don't put forth the effort they believe they're entitled to. However, you have to know some of the things you're not entitled to. This includes a spouse who always thinks as you do, children who always love you, employment now or in the future, good health and long life, a computer that never crashes, the list goes on and on. If you think you're entitled to those things, you may as well forget being happy. Instead, get used to feeling miserable. Think of life as a never-ending series of negotiations. Work to earn the respect you want instead of demanding it. Work for that promotion. Don't just wait to receive your entitlement. Negotiate ways to be happy in your marriage. Make it more about give and take and try to appreciate your spouse's needs as well as your own. Allow for imperfections. At any age, striving for perfection can be burdensome. Perfection is an ideal, not a reality. If you insist on having everything perfect, you'll only end up disappointed and unhappy, and people around you will see that disappointment in your eyes. All human beings have flaws, warts, frailties, and imperfections that, along with certain unique talents, define our personalities. If we convince ourselves something we've done is perfect, we remove our ability to improve it. Iteration, adaptation, learning are all enabled by imperfection. When we become comfortable with putting imperfect things into the world, we create opportunities for ourselves to become better. Our mistakes are valuable. Don't undervalue them by trying to avoid them. Allowing things to be imperfect will make your life so much easier and happier. Stop overthinking. Have you ever heard the saying paralysis caused by overanalysis? What stops us in our tracks from living the life we desire is simply overthinking. In so many different circumstances, what ends up happening is that we overthink, overanalyze, and find ourselves stuck. It doesn't matter what your goal is, you can overthink it to death. What happens if you decide to do one thing but immediately change your mind? When making a decision, the proper way is to think for a while about the options, decide about the best course of action under the given circumstances, and then make the decision and carry it out without looking back. If instead you keep thinking, raising doubts, changing your mind, and letting worries occupy your mind, you will not be able to decide and will not take action. Overthinking weakens your ability to make decisions and carry them out and allows your mind to raise doubts. This behavior wastes your time and makes you lose confidence in your ability to make decisions. When you give every matter just a reasonable time to think about and then decide without changing your mind numberless times, you make things happen. You spend your time doing things instead of just thinking about them. When there is no constant thinking, there is inner peace, and when there is inner peace, your mind and attention become free of worries, fears, thoughts about the past, and meaningless thoughts. In this situation, you become more aware of the present moment, aware of opportunities, and you experience more happiness. Let go of resentment. Resentment is the residual of unexpressed, unresolved anger. It's like the stain that you see in a cup when you never finish drinking the coffee, or the carbon that builds up in an automobile engine. Resentful people look at life through darkened glasses, expecting the worst and being ready to defend themselves from harm. In effect, yesterday's anger gets in the way of today's happiness. Anger comes and goes much like waves on a beach. Staying angry very long is physically impossible. What is possible, however, is feeling resentment for years, even a lifetime. Emotions come and go, but resentment can last forever. Getting angry isn't always a choice, but letting go of anger is. Most people resolve their anger in less than half an hour. If your anger lingers beyond that point, it most likely will turn into resentment. Don't be afraid to tell yourself to let go of that resentment. Learn to forgive. Are you one of those people who believe in an eye for an eye? When you get angry, do you say things like, "You get yours, I'll see to it"? Remember, what goes around comes around. If so, like it or not, you have a vindictive streak. On the surface, it's about anger and expressing anger in some vengeful manner. Vindictive people think that by hurting the person who caused them pain, whether physical or emotional, they will somehow feel better. The problem is, they won't. Forgiveness is the only antidote to vindictiveness. Keep in mind that forgiveness isn't easy, it's a choice you make. No one can make you forgive another human being. It takes time, and it requires support and demands sacrifice. For instance, you have to give up being the victim. You have to quit insisting that life has to be fair, and you have to surrender your right to revenge. Lend a helping hand. God put us on this earth for one reason, and one reason only: not to make money, not to win every race we choose to run, but to help our fellow man. We should lend a helping hand just because we can, and because we will end up feeling happier if we do. The best type of support is the unsolicited kind. What have you done lately to help someone else? You don't have to be a knight in shining armor. The simplest things count too. For example, when you see your kid struggling with his homework, you can sit down and offer to help him figure it out. When you see that the dishwasher needs to be empty, you can empty it. When you learn that your best friend lost her mother, send her some flowers along with a note expressing your love. It doesn't matter what it is. When you help others, it can promote physiological changes in the brain linked with happiness. Last but not least, have a sense of humor. Lighten up. Try not to take life so seriously. Put a smile on your face. Anything that's distracting from negativity and that gives you positive emotion or that makes you feel happy is worthwhile. Why not go watch some funny videos here on YouTube? Have you ever finished watching a funny video and had such a good laugh that once you were done, you couldn't remember what you were previously worried about, or you were overall just in a better mood? Well, that's because laughter is considered a natural medicine for the body. It has been shown that laughter is medicine that can be used to change the mental and physical well-being of people. There are various ways to bring laughter into your life, such as doing something silly, sharing a good joke or funny story, hosting a game night, playing with a pet, watching a funny movie, or watching funny videos. According to the Bible, there is a time to laugh and a time to cry. Just make sure you have the right balance between the two. That's pretty much it for today. Think of the tips today as prescriptions. Think of them as the secrets to a happy life. Just make sure you turn thinking into action. Thank you for watching the video. Have a good day. See you next time.